What's up, guys? Back at it with another video, and we just did a video on the winterizing or the winter of your bike and basically maintenance of your bike. So yeah, we're going to be putting on a head. I did talk about it in the video before, and yeah, so this head, the purpose of it is what actually got faded. It's with the original blue. It got faded from the sun, but that's besides the point. The point is, see these fins? These are supposed to make it like the heat evaporate or come out faster, like not come out faster, but like I don't know how to explain it, but it's better for heat. It doesn't overheat your engine. So the fins cool it off, I guess. When you're driving, maybe while you're driving through, the air goes through. Not 100% sure. Don't really know, but I just know it's better for the heat, and it just helps. So compared to that stock head that just like absorbs the heat basically. But and I heard something about the painted engines. They absorb more heat because they're the black paint. It's like terrible for the engine because I mean it doesn't look too bad. It looks pretty good, but the head keeps more heat than a stock one does. I mean it's not a big difference, but it's like 10 degrees difference I think or something. I saw it in a YouTube video, but doesn't just 10 degrees difference can change a lot. It could go from blowing up your engine to just changing this and it'll be fine. But yeah, so like what I did with my other engine, this is my second engine, I put a spray paint on it, but this isn't a factory spray paint. This is just like some paint in a can, some spray paint, rattle can. I think it was, hold on. I want to say it was this. I mean, this isn't obviously good for your engine because it's not the heated element, doesn't keep in heat, or it's not rated for the heat. I have that on the exhaust, that's why it smokes, but I think it'll be fine. It'll be fine. What are you gonna do? As long as it runs, it runs. That's what I say. But yeah, so we're gonna go change this, and let's get to it. All right. So first you're gonna do is remove the spark plug. The spark plug is 3/4. If you get that certain spark plug adapter, it's got like that little ring in it. So you just like push it on, and then you just loosen it up. You don't have to not torque them, but you don't have to tighten these spark plugs very tight. I mean, I did. It was very rich, so I wiped it down a little, but it's still very rich, but that's fine. So then this comes off. All right, I'll leave it on. Those bolts, I believe, I don't remember off the top of my head. They might be 14, I want to say. This is a 13. Yeah, they're 14 millimeter. All right, so there are 14 millimeter bolts for the head. So let me go run and grab the socket for that, and then we'll be back. Just to make life easier, I'm going to use an impact. But tightening them, I'm going to tighten them a little with the impact, and then fully tighten them with the ratchet. Oh, actually, maybe not. Oh, shoot. That was not good. Alright. Yeah, so we're going to loosen it. Actually, I have a smaller 14 socket. So, oh shoot, that was tight. But yeah, so do that. Then, I've actually never seen the inside of this, so since I bought it, this is the first time I'm seeing it. But it's a very simple process. I know when you buy that, when you buy the, what do you call it, that head, it comes with an exhaust, not exhaust, what am I saying? It does come with a gasket, but I don't have it. It was on my old engine, so I'm just going to leave it like this. Oh wow, they put 2 washers and then 1 lock washer. Huh. That's a little crazy. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that, but there's oh Jesus. Yeah, so it's not the worst. There's actually a little bit of oil over here. Could be because the gasket's not perfect, but let me show you the inside of it. Doesn't look too bad. There was actually a few things in there, but it looks like it leaks a little bit from here. So I don't know if you just saw that. It leaks a little bit from here. So we're going to wipe that down with a rag, and then, you know, it just pulls up. The cylinder wall looks good to me. So just normal wear, except for this gasket. I was a little surprised how it leaks from there. It's probably not the best gasket. Well, the camera zoomed in a lot, but yeah, it's leaking from over here with exhaust. Leaks from over here with exhaust goes. So I don't know. I'm probably just leave this gasket on. I'll just tighten it down, and yeah, we'll just wipe this off and put the head back on. All right, so it's really just as simple as taking the head. Make sure the gasket's on, obviously, because if the gasket's on, it's not gonna be too good. But also you can check if you go like that. You can kind of see. You can see how these engines are made. They're not the best. Shows the quality like that, but all you gotta do is just put stick your washers down. For some reason, they put 2 washers and then 1 lock washer. So I'm just gonna follow that, just because. But yeah. So I'm gonna put them on like just like this. It's a little annoying with these heads because it's just taller, like a deeper thing. But you know, supposedly it helps. Personally, I think it helps actually a little bit. There's a little bit of help for me, but I don't really notice any I mean, maybe there was a little bit of performance in it, but you know, I didn't really notice. But yeah, I think the fastest I've ever been was 31, 32 maybe, I think, on this bike. But okay, I lost the lock washer. How did I lose? No, that doesn't look right. Okay, well, error on my part. Try not to do this. I got one of these stuck. I put 2 in 1. So hold on. Let me see if I got this. All right. Well, I'm gonna go get this out and then I'll be back. Okay, that minor issue was solved. Okay, we got that all good. But yeah, so apparently there's a torque rating for these. I believe it is 10 pounds of torque with like a torque wrench. But I just tighten them pretty hard, and then hopefully the thing doesn't explode while I'm riding. It's the way I do it. But you can use a torque wrench if you want. I'm just scared these Chinese studs are just gonna literally snap. So that's why I don't use a torque wrench on them. Because one day I've tried that and it just kept spinning. So I said, you know, probably shouldn't do this. And also what I do is when hold on, it's pretty hard to, you know, have like small fingers. What I do is I go like a star pattern like this to here, and then I'll go here to there. So just like that, and tighten them one by one. Obviously I can't tighten them by hand, but I'll do that, and then we'll be good. I just want to show you how tight and tighten these. So I go like this, and then, you know, I go pretty tight, maybe until like you just get like a feeling like the bolt might snap. When you get that feeling, it's usually your torque setting is when you're like, oh my god, this might break. That's my torque setting. And then I do like a little tug at the end, like a, just like a, like that. Just like that. Now you can also look like right here if you put your eye level with this and see if you could see a gap. I see a tiny gap just because that gasket is pretty bad. So maybe I'll tighten this just a tiny bit. I don't think it's going to change much, but it doesn't really change. So I'm just going to leave it like that. Then we are going to, I think we're going to put the other exhaust on. And yeah, from there, see what we'll do. Alrighty, so now we are going to loosen these two, and we're going to put on our F2 thruster exhaust. So just going to loosen these. I also like how in this engine, it comes with these screws. This is a 3/16 size Allen wrench, key, whatever how you want to call it. Put that down. Put this one. I like how the gasket is very thick. It's a very thick gasket, so it looks like it actually melted or something onto the exhaust or something like that. Probably because I had the wrong paint on the exhaust. Whoa. Whoops. But yeah, this is what it looks like. Yeah, as you can see, the exhaust is, the gasket stuck on the exhaust. Slowly pry it off. Okay, it looks like it doesn't want to come off. Alright. There's a little bit of a gasket. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a, let me see if I have a razor blade. Oh, let's go. Got one right here. So now, let me zoom out a little. Now I'm going to try to, oh, okay, it ripped. Okay, this, I take back what I said about this gasket. It sucks. Okay. Yeah, I would probably not buy this gasket. I didn't really buy it though, so it's okay. Yeah, so I'm just gonna shave this all off. Wow, this is like cutting a piece of wood. Yeah, I don't know why it's like stuck to it. Must have like heat. Must have just made it stick together, but yeah, so that's, I'm just gonna have to scrape all this off, and then I'll just put a I'm just gonna put one of those like gasket makers. Actually, I might just leave this like this and just put it on, because Chinese engine, don't really care too much about it. And then I saw on my other video, in one of my videos, someone commented that the fuel filters are wrong. I don't really care if it's on wrong, because it's a Chinese engine, and like these things are so small, I don't really care. So if it blows up, I mean, just buy a new one. I don't really want to, but I probably will have to. But yeah, these things really, they take like a beating. Like, I had the air filter off for a long time on my other bike, and I was just riding it, dirt was kicking in it, it just lasted a while. So, but yeah, that one I beat like crazy. I beat the hell out of it. But I don't know, the Chinese motors, I mean, like, I can't really do a lot about with them. They're cheap, so, but yeah, you can't really do much about it. Can't really change the fact that it's cheap. It's made in China. But yeah, so someone said that. Someone said in another video in the comments that don't get the pull starter. My other pull starter I had, I will say it sucked after like 2-3 times of using it. I pulled it, thing just ripped. So that sucked, but you can also like take this cord and change it with like nice decent paracord. So that's if you want to do that, if that breaks. But this is surprisingly, this thing lasted pretty good so far. So hopefully it doesn't break, knock on wood. And yeah, so we're gonna put the exhaust on with some gasket maker, and we will be good to go. So when you're doing this part, make sure you want to get it somewhat clean. I mean, this is pretty smooth and clean, so I think I'm not gonna have a problem with it. But so what you're gonna do is, it's literally like a whipped cream can. Just gonna push it out and just gonna just run it along, just like that. It's not the best job, I know, pretty bad at it, but then if you want, get a rag. And then just wipe the rag, not wipe the rag, what am I saying? What I would do is I use my finger and just make sure it's all around it, and then wipe off all the excess. What it looks like now. Not the best, but it's okay. And then I'm gonna have my 2 bolts in. What I would do is for this one, I'm gonna have to remove the washer. So I'm just gonna leave the lock washer on, but it's okay. Or not, because it won't come off, okay? So I guess it's staying. Tighten that one up. Tighten this one up. And this is I was reading the packaging for the this gasket maker, and it holds up to, the operating range is 450 degrees to 500 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's pretty good. Just make sure it's on there tight so it sets. And she's good to go. I actually like how this doesn't rub up against the exhaust, and I like how it clears. It actually fits nice in there. So that's how it is. Do a little thing to show you what it looks like. Boom. Looks pretty good. Now it clears this. I can pull it. There's a little gap right there. So looks good. I'm gonna let this dry, and then we'll do a little test run and start it up.